Welcome, Dr. Charuljan ma'am. Welcome.
Good evening, everyone. Thank you so much, sir.
Welcome.
So, good evening to one and all, and many congratulations on continuously putting in effort towards ICT tools, moving ahead. And I've been privileged by the opportunity to speak again on the platform of the Research Foundation of India. And I thank my organization, the Symbiosis University of Applied Sciences, and my mentor, Dr. Sanjay Kumar, to give me the opportunity and encouragement always to move into various aspects of learning and projecting. So I just said, Saurabh sir, they have given me an opportunity to talk about resilience. That in itself is a beautiful concept. Before
Yes,
moving
sir.
on,
Parul ma'am, just a minute. Just please pardon me to interrupt.
no
I think
problem.
Ajay sir, the candidates, the participants of this FDP hasn't joined yet. I believe that.
Okay.
ओके सर, अभी मैम वैसे भी जनरल डिस्कशन ही कर रहे थे। मैम का
हाँ,
इंट्रोडक्शन से लेके पूरी प्रोसेस अभी करना ही है सर हमें।
जी 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 जी।
क्या सर, तो ओके सर, वेट करते हैं थोड़ा सा।
हाँ, yes sir. It is my humble request.
no problem.
श्योर सर, श्योर।
And Charul ma'am, I am very sorry to interrupt you in between.
No. That's completely okay.
रवि सर, कैन वी स्टार्ट नाउ?
Yes sir. I think Asha sir, are you there in the meeting? Asha sir.
Yeah, Professor Sen, please proceed.
यस सर। रवि सर।
Asha Joshi sir, I request.
Yes, sir, I'm here.
Yes, I request you to please propose a welcome address and introduction of our today's speaker, Dr. Charul Jain. Please, sir.
Yeah. Thank you, Ravi sir. I, Professor Asha Joshi, take this privilege. I welcome Chairman Dr. Saurabh Jain, Vice President Dr. Ashok Kumar Gupta, Central Board President Professor Ajay Jain, and now I take the privilege to welcome the resource person of today, Dr. Charul Jain. Dr. Charul Jain is currently with Symbiosis University of Applied Sciences, Indore, as Head of School of Interdisciplinary Sciences, as Dean of Students' Welfare and Associate Professor. Dr. Jain has been working since last 15 years in the field of education and training. He has been continuously contributing in employability training ethical research practices, and research writing. Dr. Jan is an expert in employability skills training and has successfully guided placements for more than 5,000 students till date. For her remarkable work, she has been awarded International Award for Master in Training Employability Skills in DAVV Indore. Dr. Jan has developed various training techniques. She owns copyright named Career Burger and Corporate from Campus, wrote 2 books, and is a freelance consultant for copyrights. Recently, she has been certified by IIM Ahmedabad for rocking LinkedIn profile and advanced Excel. Atal AICT portal for blended learning and flipped classroom. Training skills by the Government of India, NSDC and MPESC. Her current client is Airtel, which she is training since 3 years. MOOC certified by Google, Udemy, and Coursera for advanced analytics, copyright contents, personal branding, resume writing, writing research papers, and publishing. She has conducted numerous training programs in various organizations. Radio Police Training School Indore, Police Training School Pachmadi, Airtel Telecom School of Commerce, Vishisht School of Management, MSME, IT firms, pharmacy, and insurance companies, to list a few. She has also given training and analysis to teachers of Gujarati Samaj School. She has been customizing and delivering numerous skill training programs like resume building, group discussion, personal interview, psychometric tests, personality development, corporate training, etc. for students seeking for placement. Since past 3 years, she is associated with Fast IAS Academy Indore for training personal interview skills and personal branding for students aspiring for MPPSC. This she does as a social cause without taking any fees. An IIT Delhi and IIM Indore certified trainer for case writing and teaching from cases. Recently in July 2019 been awarded as Think Tank in Education and Training by the Research Foundation of India. Having written, presented, and published many research papers in many conferences and journals, including IIT Delhi and IIM Indore. Academically, she was awarded her PhD in 2013 from IMS DAVV. She has completed her MBA from Cyprus International Institute of Management, Cyprus, Europe, and BBA from Prestige Institute of Management and Research. She is continuously dedicated to employment training and to train, share, and enhance ethical and employability skills. We are very fortunate to have such a resource speaker. Thank you.
Honorable Saurabh sir, Honorable Ajay sir, the entire board of the Research Foundation of India. I'm glad to gain the opportunity to speak for and on the topic of resilience, which is absolutely an application based and the need of the hour. And I'm glad and thankful to all the presenters, the speakers, the introducers to give me the opportunity. To just begin with, I just wish to confirm, am I audible?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes,
And is my screen visible?
yes, madam.
So I have actually given you the two most important questions of the year 2020. Throughout the year, since day 1 of March 22nd till date, we are asking everybody these two questions. Am I audible? Is my screen visible?
Yes.
So it is the fact that we are alive, we are connected, and we are fruitfully, productively working on the basis of these two questions. So these questions for all of us have become the lifelines. If I see the other way around of these two questions, it's a positive way of looking at the adverse situation. I know that when we see our students, when we see our participants in front of us, then we have more energy to present and to share our knowledge and experience with everyone. Because it's not just the speaker sharing the experience, but it is also the participants from whom the speaker gets a lot of vibrations, a lot of learning, a lot of experiential sharing. But this pandemic has taken over everything. So, shall I get back? Shall I take a step back or a setback? And shall we just stop doing what we could do in the normal situations? I asked the entire team here, has anyone stopped even a single day when Modi ji announced on the 19th of March that when on 22nd we'll have lockdown? Has anyone stopped? Is there any one person who can say that, yes, I stopped? Despite of having so many challenges, we kept on rolling this hard rock when we knew that the situations are adverse. This is the beauty of resilience. I'm really glad to have my mentor as Dr. Sanjay Kumar sir, the Honorable Vice Chancellor of a university, that's Symbiosis University of Applied Sciences, who always guides us towards looking the positive aspect of everything, but not too much optimistic. See the real aspect of everything. I know that's a little spiritual context of looking at it, but let me take you through a small video. And please confirm if the voice is again audible. Okay. Okay, no problem. We'll just skip this. If it so happens, then I'll request Ajay sir to play the video sometime later. This concept of resilience has been taken as adjustment, as recovery. And sometimes I have heard people speaking and saying that resilience just means moving on, just being positive in all the situations. But it's not so. Definitely, resilience means that you have to be positive in all the situations, but keep moving on. But there is a small difference. So here I'll be talking very specific in terms of building resilience in our workplace and in our personal sphere. Because resilience is entirely about us, we as individuals. Please understand, as we go deeper and deeper into resilience, we have to understand one concept, that it is up to us how we take things ahead. So you have to start taking things for yourself right now. How do you think? And please try to connect to as many examples as you can from your real life. And just when I'm asking, please tell me these examples, because that will help us to connect much better into resilience. And let me tell you a fact. Resilience has been practiced since ages. Since 1930, it has been practiced, and even far back then. It is just now, a few decades ago, it has been conceptualized. So here today in the session, I'll be talking very specific in building resilience in the workplace and in the personal sphere. I just take a 5-second pause and I request my audience to put a set of expectations from understanding resilience. Any kind of pre-assumptions, any suggestions, any questions before I move on? Please put forward some questions. Okay, no problem. That's again a part of resilience. Something that stops you from bringing your point up. All right. So let me just tell you, like these black waves are flooding up, but still we sail in. Similarly, resilience is the absolute ability of moving forward, despite of facing a lot of traumas, challenges, and setbacks in life. Resilience is different from having the consistency in life. Consistency can be in positive and negative sense both. But when I say resilience, then some or the other negative force has to act. For example, this time of pandemic. This pandemic is a negative force which is coming up. But thankfully, we all accepted it in a positive way. There was this negative aspect of pandemic affecting all the teachers, trainers, mentors, and guides. But we all know how to balance our emotions. Please recall that March, April, and May. And then when we had to go to the office for the first time, there are certain organizations which have started calling their employees just since January. So what is that first thing you that came to your mind that made you stressful? But still we were optimistic. We will face the challenge no matter what. And we found a new normal to ourselves. This is called resilience. In very simple terms, resilience becomes the ability of any individual to come back to the normal mental state, normal mental healthy state, when there is some or the other negative life event. I have a very strong question to ask. Please tell me if any one of you have experienced a smooth life without any negative event in a life for at least a day, a month, or a year. No negative. No human loss, no money loss, no job, no nothing. Everything was positive, positive. Does this happen ever? Is there any one person who can assure me that this has happened to him or her? I can challenge this entire universe. This is not possible. There are always negative challenges from 360-degree coming towards us, which will stop us to perform and achieve our purpose of life. But it is up to us how we attain that. So resilience becomes the ability of us as an individual, each one of you sitting there, to no matter what comes in front of you. Yes, I know that maximum of you may have worked on 40% of your salary throughout the lockdown when there was no other source of income, higher expenditure, job threats, but still you had to work from home. Internet charges increased, electricity increased, there were a lot of challenges, but still we kept our mind healthy. This is the art of resilience. It simply says, despite of having so many adversities in our life, so many tragedies, so many adverse situations, we still know how to bounce back. I hope this is visible. Look at this ball very carefully. This is us. Let it go back. Now this is going backwards. The entire universe is forcing it to go backwards, backwards and backwards. But soon it realizes, I know what is my purpose of life, and I revert back despite of all the challenges. This bouncing back is called resilience. It's been used, it's been identified since ages for successful, positive functioning of productivity. So it's nothing new that is coming all of a sudden in our lives. It has been there, it is there, and it will always be there. There are certain instances of our life. Let's just recall when we practice all this resilience. बिना सोचे समझे भी हम इस resilience को हमारी daily routine में practice कर रहे हैं. Just imagine, you get up in the morning and you are leaving for your office, and all of a sudden, today it was raining heavily. So there was a spot on the sari. Do you really want to miss on the office timing? Or you want to waste your time in dressing up again? No, it's a small thing. Let it be there. Don't stress it over your head. Just move on. That's a small thing. Another part, another instance, which you will surely relate with me. You are about to leave for office and you had a small fight with your spouse. रोज होता है, सबके घर में होता है, okay? Now, can you take this anger and fight to the office? Yeah, sure, please take it. And then you perform at 30% of your productivity. And then you get that anger and fight again from the boss and your colleagues and take this anger back in your home. What will happen? Endless loop of stress. Rather, you all are the resilient, smart people. Despite of any adversity, fine, there was a small piece of conflict, disagreement at home, fine, leave it there. Let me go to a workplace, putting my home button off. Now I'm in the office and I'm putting my office button on. It's that simple. When you master that technique, it becomes very easy and it becomes very helpful for all of us to become very productive. It's just simply like your bulb or a tube light on and off button. Despite of having so many adverse situations, when I am at the office, I put my office button on. I don't care if I have any distinct conflict with my colleagues or no, but my work is my ethics. My work is my priority. So putting all my heart and soul towards work, keeping everything apart. Let people say what are they saying. It's about them what they want to say. But we need to focus on our work. That's the power of resilience. If you get affected by what people say, what they behave, get into the competition mode and start traumating yourself, then it's not resilience. Despite of having all the troubles at multiple levels, the only thing that you have to do is remember that blue ball. Bounce back. Bounce back very beautifully. Here is something which I have tried to put on as a resilience. I have a very simple question to everyone. Am I clear on the thought that there is a difference between consistency and resilience? Consistency is the continuity of your performance, but resilience is very specific when you have adversities. Then, to facing those adversities, you be consistent in your performances. So, any one of you can just prompt in and say, am I clear on that thought? Okay. So moving on to the process, how does resilience work with us? Okay. Definitely consistency.
You are very clear.
Thank you so much. So
Yes.
consistency is one part of resilience. When we have certain adverse situation, आप अपने आप से connect करने की कोशिश करिए. You may have some of the other adversity. You sit, have a cup of tea. My favorite is just lemon tea. So I just boil a glass of water and just put a lemon tea into it. And then sit and think, am I supposed to sit back and spend more time in thinking what went wrong, how went wrong, and spend more time wasting into that delusion? No. Yes, I understood there was a problem. I understood the root cause of the problem. But now, rather than investing or wasting more time, not investing, rather wasting more time on overthinking of the mistake being done, why not to bring a positive mindset? Accept the mistake. Accept the adversity. Fine, मेरे पास इतने पैसे नहीं हैं. Fine, I'm rushing out on time. Fine, I'm compromising my life over my kids. Fine, because I'm doing it all for them. Have a positive mindset and again invest your time in the productive outcomes. So resilience will always be there. I know everyone will have the same thought process with me. Either of you can say, हम हमेशा अपने साथ एक स्टेटमेंट हमेशा बोलते हैं, ये मेरे साथ क्यों हुआ? I hope Everyone knows the statement. ये मेरे साथ ही क्यों होता है? My colleagues, my dear ones, ये सबके साथ होता है. Life behaves ups and downs. Life gives challenges to each one of us. Bill Gates, Steve Jobs, Mark Zuckerberg, Tata's, anyone, everyone has absolute adversities in their life. Steve Jobs was thrown out of his own venture. Imagine, entire devastation. At the age of 35, 40, he was told that he has pancreatic cancer. Oh my God. Then what to do? No, he did not take a step back. Moved on with another force. ठीक है, गलती हो गई. Understand the situation. Accept the situation. Settle your mind again. Do a thinking process and then move on. Because and I'll tell you a trick how to move on. Each one of you, please sit tonight with yourself and find what is your purpose of life. What exactly are you doing with your life? What did you think you wanted to be remembered as? I want to be remembered as a person who has changed lives. Here I'll tell you a small example. In these 6 months, we are teaching and training students virtually. There was a batch of students, and there is a batch of students whom I never met. It was just the webcam, maybe on the Google Meet or Zoom or on the team. I was teaching and training. And remember, I'm not teaching any subjects. I'm teaching the employability skills. So it's going to be more hard for me. It's like teaching you feel without making them, touching or being in front of them. So it's a little difficult task. But when maximum of you, they remember your voice, they remember what you have taught and trained them, and they get somewhere in their life. Today's incident, when 3 students came and they touched my feet and said, "Ma'am, it's all because of you when you shouted us in the class." In the class, where? Virtually. People have an option, mute karke chhod diya. Nobody knows if I'm there or not. But when they have understood their life has changed, that sounds really beautiful. That's like the best feeling in the world. That is the self-contentment that I am working for the purpose of my life. So whenever you have this setback, any kind of setback, any kind of adverse situation coming to you, the best way is give it a smile. Okay, yet another one. I'm going to deal with it. Meditate. I'm not just saying that go and do pranayam and everything. Meditate means just sit with yourself, synthesize yourself, gather all your energy. Fine. Whatever is happening will happen. But I am meant to move forward. So let me move forward with more force. I hope everyone is well aware about push and pull. If you're doing only push, we can go a little, we take a little less effort. But adversities are like pull. They fetch you back. So you know that you have a purpose here, the ultimate purpose of your life, what you are expected by yourself and others to perform. So you drive in with double force to reach in here. That's the entire process of resilience. There will not be a single day of adversity, but the days should be full of thought process, synthesized process, and each day should be different from yesterday because my outcomes are different from yesterday. I have proved something new today. That's the process of resilience. So bringing you back this cute blue ball, recalling you that there's the entire universe every day giving you pressure from up and pushing you back. But this is you. Rather than all the adversities, you have to bounce back. And I will bounce back. Please start saying this to yourself. I will bounce back. Push as much as possible. Pull as much as possible. But remember this blue ball from the entire presentation. I'm sure you're going to remember this. Remember, entire force will push you back, pull you back, but come with a greater force because you are meant to bounce back. That's resilience. So the entire ability to bounce back, to accept the challenges, live with those challenges is resilience. Another thing, resilient people never react. They always respond. There's a huge difference and demarcation in these two words, respond and react. Reaction doesn't take a spur of moment on thinking. One faces the adverse situation, for task you take an action without even a thought process. That's reaction. Imagine if I have a cup of coffee in my on my right, and all of a sudden while talking to you I get to touch the coffee mug. So I react and pull my hand off. If I do that, coffee will spill over on my clothes and on the floor as well. That's reaction. But resilient people respond. They have a thoughtful process. I know while talking, it's been a mistake of taking my hand back too much out of my own dimensions and mistakenly I touched a hot coffee mug. So silently, I know if I shatter it too much, mug will break and there'll be too much spillover. So calmly, I take my hand back. Number one, I save my own hand. Number two, there's no spillover. Number three, my mug set is fine. Out of 12. Respond. Things apply same in our lives. Resilient people accept the adversities, they think it over, and then respond in the positive way in all the difficult situations. In all the difficult situations, no matter what. They always focus on rising up rather than rising down. They always look for better times in always when they have blue times. Blue times means shallow times, low times. You always have to bring your life up, right? You always need to keep your hope, faith up. That cannot be pushed in. Does not matter the amount of time I'm going to tell you, be positive, be positive, be positive. It will not work. But remembering that blue ball will always help you. Remembering that what am I made for? What is my ultimate purpose of life? What am I doing with my life? That force will always take you to the absolute performance all the time. So these are the people. The resilience is the ability of transforming the unfavorable situations all around you and finding the best from that adversity. India में हम जुगाड़ करते हैं. That is one of the example of resilience. Very strong examples. I'm really proud of being Indian. Despite of studying abroad, having a job opportunity abroad, I chose to come back to India. This was my willful decision to give back to the land where I am born. This land has given me everything. Why to give it to some other country? I don't agree to that. So all the unfavorable situations, you find your own pathway and you endure to it. That is the ability of resilience. Bounce back. So here are some takeaways in this. The resilient person, now I consider everyone to be resilient here because I know and I really congratulate everyone that we have healthily completed 2020. Here, before I move on to the slide, I have one question. Which pan is more heavier for you? On one side, I say I have more gratitude and thanks. I have more things to thank in 2020. And second side, I say that I have more complaints from 2020. Is my question clear? I'm asking all of you.
Ma'am, gratitude and thanks will be more.
Yes, because it has given more opportunity. Why do you say that gratitude and thanks is more?
Because it is blessing in disguise, ma'am.
Yes, absolutely beautiful. I'm really glad. This
Thank
is
you.
the power of resilience. You already know it. It just, we need to shape it properly. That we have been practicing subconsciously, some or the other way, but now it has to become like very transparent and a defined pattern where I can find my own solutions despite of having so many adverse situations. At the end of the presentation, I will share that technique that with you also. Yes, we have more of gratitude and thankfulness for the year 2020. I really thank the year 2020 for teaching me and making me more adaptive to the technology, for teaching me how to use the ICT tool. The researches have been done, then which shows that the teachers which has been pushed and motivated to move courses and they were not doing, this pandemic has grown the competition so much. I think everyone has at least 2 to 4 more courses in their bundle of learning, bundle of knowledge. So a resilient person is one who can understand their own feelings. You know why you feel sad, why you feel happy, what makes you feel competent. The same boss when he says you did good, and the same boss when he says not satisfied with your performance. What does that impacts you? So a resilient person knows his own feelings and understands the other's emotion as well, others' feelings as well. What triggers the best productive outcome from one or the other? On this point, I'm not just boosting around, but I really, on this point, I wish to commend Dr. Saurabh and Dr. Ajay on this point. I mean, it's on the platform. That's why I take the privilege of these two pillars. I have felt like a very strong, resilient people. Despite of having such a trauma from the pandemic time, they have brought a new dimension to training and workshops and FDPs, which later on others followed. Despite of having so many adversities, hats off to Dr. Ajay Jain. He had put up so many things and he is bringing everyone together despite of all the challenges to the entire team. Same you all do each day, but you do it subconsciously. From now onwards, you have to do it consciously. That I know if I have a cup of coffee in the morning, I feel good. But if I miss morning coffee, I will feel bad. But fine, it may so happen you run out of milk, you don't have a cup of coffee. Then what to do? You need to find your own way because you cannot spoil the entire day just because of coffee. So you understand your own feelings, you understand your own emotions, and then you move on with the day. Resilient people always know their self worth. What are they meant for? Can they contribute? What can they contribute? And they are fearless about working independently. Also, they have a sense of independence. I can do a lot of things. They always say, yes, I can do it. It's not just the statement, I can do it, but they truly mean that statement. That yes, anyone can count on me. I have that worth. I tell you from my office also, from my personal life also, from the top management to the bottom, everyone comes and share their stories with me, maybe the personal conflicts or the professional, because they feel a self-worth, because they feel ma'am is worth talking to. She can give us solutions to our problems. She can help us to manage our emotions. She can help us to manage our anger. She can help us to give us a sense of right decision making, effective decision making. Imagine if I'm talking and guiding so many people, I also need to keep my brain calm and cold because I'm listening to so many stories altogether. And I have my own story running together along with. So the resilient person is absolutely independent and he or she knows the self-worth. What is his or her value? He always frames a positive mindset, no matter what kind of relationships are there. Resilient people always respect the relationships. I again challenge all the participants by asking one question. Please speak and utter a word if you have perfect relationship with all the colleagues in your office. There's not a single person in your office with whom you do not share a sour relationship. I'm sure there won't be even a single person. But we work as a team. The resilient person is the one who always maintain a positive relationship no matter what, because our focus is where? On the productivity, on the ultimate purpose. Conflicts will always come and go, but it is up to us. We will never let that conflict affect our work. That conflict can be anything, just a matter of disagreement. Conflict usually arises when two people have a difference of opinion, nothing much. I don't think there's another way of conflict or another reason for conflict. It's just a difference of opinion. So that's fine. Everyone has their own experiences, everyone has their own area of work, everyone has their own knowledge. So fine, don't challenge, but utilize the pool of resources, the pool of skills in the relationship you have been blessed with in the workplace. आप अपना life partner choose कर सकते हो, but can you choose your colleagues and boss? I'm sure nobody can. You can choose the organization to work with, but you cannot choose the employees to work with or colleagues to work with. So, how to maintain your productivity? By keeping respect in the relationships, by keeping mutual positivity in the relationships, and at least keep things open and transparent from your ends by having informed decision making. And one strong point, if you have a very strong purpose of your life and each day you are moving towards it, towards achieving that, then surely you are a resilient person. That's all about you. How much are you adaptive? How much can you cope up with the adverse situations and move back, bounce back towards the productivity? That's the power of resilience. This is certain like a combination or the formulae or the equation. Say any synonym of your choice. But I say that resilience is a combination of all these four. It's like a quality of coping up with any situation in life. Any means any situation. Are you all fond of reading about people's life? That's called biography. Do you all read? You must read. And if you don't have time to read, then let me tell you, the best way to read about people's life is to listen to podcasts, to listen to audiobooks. It teaches you the direct download of people's life. So resilience here, the first component says coping skills. How much can I adapt? How much can I handle the situation and still keep moving? Grit. Grit says perseverance and consistency. No matter what, chale chalo. No matter what, keep moving on and on and on. I know there will be ditches on the road. I know there'll be speed breaker. I know there'll be cemented road, then all of a sudden wo Damarwala road, and all of a sudden wo unconstructed road. But does that stop you to go to office every day? Never. Be consistent and have a positive perspective of predicting. Emotional intelligence. This is in itself is a huge domain. Emotional intelligence consists of your own self-awareness, self-discipline, self-motivation, empathy, understanding. The more you become higher on the emotional intelligence, the more you know your own emotions, the more you become aware about your own emotions, the more competent you become to handle your own emotions. And once you know how to handle your emotions, then you know what can trigger your productivity. So do that. So simple, isn't it? And lastly, senses. Would anyone like to speak about senses? That's very interesting thing here. And it's very simple also. No one? Senses simply means that everyone has certain past experiences. On the basis of those experiences, next time when the similar situation comes, we behave in a certain way. Imagine the first time we rode a bicycle. We fell down. Remember the first time we drove a car. During the reverse gear, we dashed in. But since then, till date, we never dashed in. The day one, we failed in our subject. The second day, we knew how to cope up with that. So the sense here, as an equation, as a part of resilience, means learning from the past, learning from the experiences. It's nothing like ho gaya bhul jao, ho gaya bhul jao. No. Something happened, learn from it, understand it, and then apply when similar situations come up. So if I have to state them briefly, but very strongly, understand this matrix. Coping situation means I know you all have to know what are your skills and strengths. And please take your weaknesses as the areas of improvements, areas and platforms where you can highlight more skills. So coping skills are nothing just the inner resources, inner skills, which will help you to deal with a problem, to deal with a challenge. And the grit here means never give up. Be consistent. Any situation comes up, look into it, and then keep moving on. Keep moving on. I will never give up. I know I have multiple tasks in my bag. So what? I will still perform it. Just the perform? No. I will perform to the best productivity expected level. That's grit. Emotional intelligence, on the contrary, it's your ability to understand your own emotions, your own feelings, your own behavior at various point of time. At various point of time. Can you control your own emotions? I give you a small example in this part. Okay. My name is Dr. Charul Jain. I'm a pure vegetarian. I know the contrast of all this, but I'm a pure vegetarian. People might, when I went abroad, there were people who ate non-veg. And you have to respect. Sitting in the college pantry, we have to share the tables. I being Jain, I cannot eat, or I'm not brought up that way that I should eat non-veg or eggs or anything like that. A right to put a question mark why you are sitting in front of me and I don't have that right. So how do you handle your emotion in that case? He respects me, not pushing me to eat anything. Why should I push him not to eat anything which he likes? about eating anything, it's a disrespect if you pick up your plate and move out of the table. You can't do that. Disrespect and insult to somebody in front of you. Then what to do? Handle your emotions. It does not matter who is eating what, who is doing what in front of you. I know it may be a little difficult for you all to understand this right now. Ma'am, आपने ये कैसे किया? Because my intentions, my purpose, and my goals were very clear. In every action, I can see only one thing. If I behave in a certain way, what is the impact on my performance? As simple as that. Am I leading towards my ultimate goal or no? That's it. Then I forget whatever adversities come in front of me. I get that one sense, I will sail through. I always say, I will sail through, no matter what the tide says. So that's the power of your emotions, emotional intelligence. Understand your own feelings, understand your own emotions, what makes you happy, what makes you motivated, and then practice that. And even it is, same important to know what makes you to go into stress, what makes you uncomfortable, what creates anxiety in you. Avoid using that. And in the workplace, sometimes the annoying colleagues or the annoying students, when you cannot avoid them, put a lighter mode of the version. You don't have to be too serious all the time. You don't have to be too much into the work with everyone. Define your lines. Everyone has their own roles and responsibilities. Define your lines and then move towards the purpose, and the purpose. That's it. And the fourth quadrant of the matrix says sense making. I'm sure everyone is working. Whosoever is attending the entire workshop, the 7 days FDP program, everyone is working. Please go back and remember the first year of your work. You all learned, experienced, and then in the second year, you applied it. In the similar situations, in the board meetings, in the board of studies, in the chairperson meeting, you behaved the learned manner. The 2 years of learning, you applied to the next 2 years. The 4 years of learning, you applied to another 5th, 6th year. So sense making simply means, are you able to learn from the past, maybe mistakes, maybe achievements, and can you take it a step further? Can you make meaningful actions through those learnings from the past? That's called sense making. Are we all sailing together till here?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Great, great, great. If you all permit, can I take just 5 seconds pause and grab few sip of water?
Yes, sure, ma'am.
Thank you.
Sure, ma'am.
Just a few seconds. Okay. Thank you for waiting for me.
Ma'am, can I ask something?
Yes, please go ahead.
Actually, whatever you're talking is, I'm sure, quite relevant with respect to whatever goes on in all in everyone's lives. And I think all of this, I mean, it's appearing as if our inner voice is speaking to us today, what we keep speaking to our own selves. And all that is coming in the form of a talk and a presentation from you. And that's really wonderful. But one big problem, which I'm sure other people would agree, and I think you would also agree, is to really apply it when it comes to practical application in life. That we keep talking about these things to ourselves, and in or if not talking, we it's all in our mind there. But to get that resilience in ourselves, to make it practically happening, actually to bounce back, becomes a little difficult many a times. So how to really overcome that thing in us, and how to get it into practical reality?
Lovely, lovely question. I was expecting some of you to ask, and I'm glad that you asked. Okay, I'll just take a quick forward to my PPTs. And as I promised in the beginning of my session, that I am going to give you a very simple solution. Looking into that, you can actually paste it in your cabin, you can paste it in your home, and looking into it, you can easily make out solutions. So I'll just quickly give you that. Okay. It's like the last slide of my presentation.
Okay.
I'll just give you a glimpse because right now you'll not be able to understand that.
Okay.
That's the solution which I'm going to give you. Okay. That do you need to be flexible, just accept, whether you need to be progressive, whether you need to defend, get back into the defensive mode, or you want to be there effect, the attack mode mein jana hai, defense mode mein jana hai, whether you should be flexible to accept, or whether you should keep on moving on doing the same as you've been doing.
Because our egos come in between, our alter egos come in between, a lot
Yes.
of things, a lot of mess
Yes.
in the minds come
Correct,
in
correct.
between. I'm
Yes. I'm glad that you've read that up. And definitely these things come. That is really happy to know. It's very happy for me to know that you know your own emotions very clearly.
Yes, that's there.
That's
But then
beautiful.
the application of solutions become difficult all the time.
You have to say yes to yourself for that matter. Okay. First thing, moving forward would be like, I know it's difficult, but it's not impossible. It's not impossible at all. So I'm going to tell you this. Just a moment. Okay, pardon me for that. See, once you asked me, because that was just the beginning of understanding the process of resilience. Now, as you discussed, each one of us will face different sort of resilience at different levels. I know at the workplace and at the family, at our own self, we have ego, we have alter ego, we have stress, we have distress, we have post stress. Everything is there, but there's a way of dealing it. The best way is to know first of all ourselves. See here, I've tried putting up concisely all the layers of systems which help us or which stresses up towards the adversity. And there's a process of resilience. Very simple. I hope you all agree that there's an ecosystem to which we say that universe. हम जिसको कहते हैं यूनिवर्स में ऐसा ये होना लिखा होगा कि अब ऐसे ही होगा. This is destined for me. So there's something called bio. There's something called the universe. Then it's us, an individual thought process and individual performance. Then we have the family, the obligations from the family, our responsibilities towards the family. Independently, individually, we could do wonders, but Sailing with the family, we have to define our own domain. We have to get back to the shell, but still we have sky as the limit. So challenges at the family level. Then we have a certain norm being practiced at the community. So we have this entire system made and being practiced at the community level. And if we go much higher, then we have a socio-cultural stressors, socio-cultural patterns, which pushes up to perform in a certain way. See here very carefully, as I move upwards, as I move out on the shell, out of the shell, me to all. My thought process to what is expected out of me. Can you connect this? Am I able to connect you? This is my ego. मुझे कोई बात अच्छी नहीं लगी, I will speak then and there itself, no matter what. That's the consequence. You have not thought of the consequence. Remember that spur of moment anger will lead to a bigger disaster. One small pebble in the sea creates a lot of ripples. So when you know that one pebble can create millions of ripples, then you decide very simply how many ripples you want, and then you speak accordingly. If you dislike something, disagree with an opinion, and you do not want to even agree, fine, speak. I don't agree, or I respect your opinion. If it's a senior person, maybe in the family or at the workplace, there's a difference of opinion. These are the pros and cons, but still, if you force and insist on the same, I will do it. Simple story. But give them the pros and cons in a very polite and poised ways. Okay? So these are the different layers of the system in which each one of us work. And our ego at personal level, even I say that even a child has that ego. If we slap this child, he will never come back to us. And if we show him a chocolate, he will always come back to us. If we just tell the child also, no, you don't know anything, he or she also gets hurt. So we know how to alter the work, alter the emotions. I'm sure, I know that every one of us have an ego. Id, ego, and egoism. Ego is not bad. Ego is like your identity. But don't let it echo in some way that hurts others. Have your own identity, but don't hurt others. Live into the system. I give you a small example, a very small example. Every person who has a difference of thought, always he or she thinks is unique in nature. Yes, he or she is unique. But do you think just being unique, one person, can be the organization? Never. If he wants to be a businessman, he needs people to work under me. He needs people to work under him. And if he is a capable person, he would have to work under someone. Okay. So the best idea, if you want, you can record. If you want, you can write. If you want, you can map it anywhere. The best idea is look into the absorption. You are a part of the family, get absorbed by the culture of the family and create a merger. Don't look in for acquisition. When you say that I have an ego, he has an ego, then it's like an acquisition, which will never be successful. Rather look for a merger. You both have ego, sit together, talk, and finish it off. I have an ego. What is there a difference of opinion, sit and finish it off. He or she, I'm not saying the spouse wise, but I'm saying it organization, work culture wise. Fine, two people are different. Two people have different knowledge. Two people have different experiences. Sit together, put forward your points, find a solution which is required as per the organization, not as per you as an individual or him as an individual, because you both are working for the organization. Your performance will contribute to the organization's performance. और वो तभी होगा when you are able to give your individual performances up to the expected level. So that's one technique wherein you can compile the adversities, you can eradicate those adversities and get back to focus again. You can align your focus again. The best technique is absorption. Understand what is expected out of me and what best I can do. Okay? Fine. So there are these 3-4 layers of the system in which we all work. And let me just give you the process of resilience for all this at different levels. There are different belief systems in all these levels. You have a different belief, family has a different belief, your work community has a different belief, your religious community has a different belief, and social culture has its own different system. Make out the meanings of all this. It's not difficult, it's very simple. Make out the meaning, what is expected, be within that limit, and have a positive outlook. Don't be rebellious all the time. If you think that I want to be rebel all the time because I have my own ego to stand, I know everything, then believe me, it's a negative aspect. It's not being resilient. It is not being resilient at all. Because you're not, in that case, if you're just opposing everything, then in that case, you're not contributing to yourself even. Your focus is just to revolt everything. So nothing positive will come out of that process. So just understand what is the system, its belief, and accordingly look into the challenges and come back with positive aspects. All right. And spirituality, transcendence, these things really work. I'm not asking you to do a lot of japs, mantras, meditations, or even any techniques. I'm not asking you to do that. Spirituality, simply, I'm stating here, believe in yourself, keep your brain calm and cool, and then look into the positive aspect. I know there may be some phases of workplace where there'll be an absolute disconnect. You will find yourself stating that, why should I be goody goody all the time? I know this thing may have come with everyone. Go back, see, are you stating something negative about yourself? Are you behaving which is not expected out of you? Reevaluate and then move forward. Then there is this organizational process. This process teaches us to be flexible. There'll be different conditions, different situations coming up. Be flexible towards that. Like the teachers, they may have to teach the classes, they may have to work for the NAC processes, then you have to conduct the examination, then you have to check the copies, and along with that, you have the family obligations. Fine, these are all challenges. We must know how to handle them. Okay, and we must know, I'm telling you how. How is like having a positive aspect towards it. Have your own switch on and off button with yourself. It takes some time to present and perform and practice, but it works once you start doing it. It really works. Then second thing which will help you to work with is connectedness. Never let that disconnect happen to you. Always try to keep yourself feel connected to the organization. Because the day you say that, where is my profit? I don't care with the organization profit. That's a total disconnect. A total disconnect. And we may land up having nothing in hand. Same applies in all the layers, all the layers. Because we as an individual cannot work. We are human beings. We are meant to work together. All right, we are meant to work together. Then, finding the social and community resources. Any resource which is available, first we see that. Look at the recruitment process. Do we directly appoint from the foreign countries, or we look into the national resources first? We always look for the first resource which is available, maybe in Indore, then in MP, then maybe nearby states, and then from anywhere in across India. And even if we are not satisfied, then anywhere abroad. Find your own perspective, how to do that. And then learning from the processes of communication. The person who has the high resilience always talks with clarity. Clear information has to be passed on. If I agree, I agree. Clear, but politely they project their information. I agree or I disagree. In my opinion, it can be done in certain way, but if you direct, if you instruct, I will perform as per the instructions. No problem. Don't take everything on your ego. Don't stress yourself for everything. Please recall that process of resilience. There'll be adversities, there'll be stress, there'll be discomfort. But you have to understand, do not waste time in thinking about the distress, thinking about non-confidence, but rather let's move to the purpose of life. So, ma'am, when you were asking me this question, then we feel ego and we have this distress. Let's move towards focusing what is my purpose of life. I know I feel harsh, I know I feel angry and anxious, but I will sail in through. I will work it out. Okay. Here I just take 2 seconds pause.
my God.
So these are certain things. Let things happen the way. There's no harm going into it. It's like you decide you want to be a tough rock or you want to be a diamond to shine. If you want to be a diamond, then you have to let the force work for you. Can a diamond shine without getting through the heat and hit?
No,
can
it
never.
cannot.
It cannot. So it has to go through that adversity. It has
Right.
to go through that pain. But it knows the ultimate purpose of its life. That someday Masin will come and buy me and wear it in a ring. So that's the purpose, right?
Yeah.
So you are the diamond. So resilience will work. Retaliation will never work.
Amazing. Amazing way to put it, ma'am.
I'm glad. I'm sure you're going to do that.
Yeah, let's hope so. All of us can, because I'm
Yes.
sure maybe I am the one who's speaking to you about all this, but I'm sure the other participants are connecting well in their own ways to whatever we are dialogue we are having.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Wonderful. Now, this picture will make us more clear. The resilience work in all these dimensions. We are one unique identity, but everything is working towards us, and we are working towards each one of these. We are trying to move on. All of a sudden, we have health issues. We are trying to move on, and let's see, we have the bounce back capacity or now. All of a sudden, we are moving on, but this pandemic comes in. So should I retaliate? No, I have become more resilient. Okay, you give me challenges, I'll give you more opportunities. I'm that kind of a person I have become. If you may have met me, let me say 25 years back, I was retaliating. But with the grace of the mentors that heat and hit, I know how to respond rather than retaliate now. Fine, you give me challenges, I'll give you opportunities. Simple. You give me challenges, I'll give you solutions. And I will give you creative solutions all the time. So when we say here, I know January 2020, everyone might have made resolutions. We'll do this, we'll plan this, we'll have so much of investment, we'll buy a property this year. But when 2020 completed, we all learned how to be grateful for whatever we have. Because in January 2020, we were not valuing whatever was there in existence with us. We didn't value, we were running for something which we'd never had. And we forgot to value what we had in hand. So now, 2020 January and 2021 January, huge difference. Now we all have a lot of gratitude towards what we have in hand. I'm sure everyone has made this resolution in 2021. We all will take care of our own health and of our family. And then we'll sail together. So when we are working, we have 6 different domains of resilience. First is the health. There may be different challenges working. Now we all are working from home, maybe working from offices like us, but we are always on the laptop. Mosneen, I can recognize your voice now. Any day if you call, I will recognize your voice. So that's the part. But imagine looking into the laptop for 9 to 10 hours. It's going to hurt your eyes. It's going to hurt your back. It's going to give me a spondylitis pain. So shall I stop doing it? No. It's an adverse situation. I will find a solution to it. Increase my protein intake in the food, exercise, sleep at least 7 hours. Initially, when the routine was normal, we used to sleep 5 hours, 6 hours was enough. But now we need to take a body rest, a proper mind, soul, and body rest for at least 7 hours. Simple. We need to find solutions to ourselves. Keep your mind calm. Then your vision. Working and having clarity on the purpose of our life. There may be changes, trusts, and crafts coming all over. मेरा सपना पूरा नहीं हुआ. So what? Change your sapna for some time. The destiny is the same. Change the route to reach to that destiny. It's all up to us. I know you may have faced diversity. I'll tell you the best way of remembering it. You have a particular route from office to your home. What if the same route has a construction going on and you cannot move from that road? Won't you go home that day? What will you do? You'll find another way to reach to your home. So that home is your vision, that purpose. Doesn't matter which route you choose. It should be ethical. That's it. The vision has to be very clear. You should be like a horse. I have to reach there no matter what. And I'll not hurt others. I'll not retaliate, but I will make sure that I reach there, no matter how many adversities you give me. But I will go. Okay? Another thing, another domain where we have to practice our resilience, or the domain of resilience, you can say, is composure. That's about all of us. Practicing emotions. We know that we behave in unexpected ways sometimes. We know how to cool ourselves. We know how to control our emotions. When we feel angry or anxious, each one of you can connect with me. Our palms get heated, our cheeks are heated, and we start grinding our teeth. So when you know that you do all these things, don't do it. You automatically have a control on your anger. So compose and control your adversities in that direction, in that way. Collaborate, manage relationships, enjoy the networks, increase the networks. See the beauty of this platform. We never met each other. I don't know when will I be able to meet you each other. But now through this platform, we are talking heart to each other. So collaborate, take the maximum opportunity from each situation. That's another domain of resilience altogether. And then reasoning. I know there's an adversity. I know there's a problem, but I don't want to crib about the problem. I know there is a problem, but I do not want to waste a lot of time on just thinking about a problem. If I know the root cause of the problem, I know the repercussions of the problem. Rather, let me invest my time in putting the solutions to that problem. So just anticipate and plan. It's so simple. It's just like in pandemic, you all became master chefs. You had least resources, but you all know how to make homemade pastas, homemade pancakes, homemade, what do you say that? Pizza and everything all together. So many recipes came up. So there'll be a problem, but be reasonable. Give your own sources, utilize your own resources and find solutions. And then most important is towards the consistency. To everyone, it's a humble concentration towards it. Always be persistent, continuous, consistent, optimistic that if something wrong happens, it happens for something good. If there's a left turn, there will always be a right turn. If there's a night, there will be a day. If there's so much of winter, there will be sunny days. And this is the nature of human beings. If there's too much sun, we will say, I want rain. And if we have too much of rains, we will say, I want too much of winter. And right now, when we have too much of winter, we want sun. This is the nature of every human being. So despite of having everything, the work should never get suffered. We must have to work in all these 6 domains altogether. So if I say precisely about the vision, it's all about allowing yourself in various domains to choose and face the choices. Choose and face all challenges. Compose. Please go fight or flight mode. You have to choose your own mode. Fight is like getting one-on-one, and flight is like I leave the situation, I know the problem, Rather than wasting, I invest, brainstorm, and move towards productivity. So please remember this phase: fight or flight. It's your choice what you want. That's compose. Reasoning. Be proactive. I know there will be problems. I know when I'm talking to you all, I'm running, you all are waiting for something else to work. But I am proactive. I'm going to give you solution before we leave for the day. And that solution will be pasted in your cabin, in your bedroom. Whenever you see to that, you will choose the matrix. Acha, ye cheez hai, to how should I behave? Be proactive to find your own solutions. Health. My dear ones, even apart from the session, it's our moral responsibility towards ourselves. If we have healthy body, mind, and soul, we can work much better. Health, make yourself most nutritious in every possible way. I'm not asking you to buy costly and heavily priced medicines or food supplements, but I'm saying whatever you eat healthy. Whatever you think healthy. Whatever you behave healthy. We being the trainers in the industry since last 2 decades now, by the walk of a person, we can tell whether the mindset of the person is healthy or unhealthy. That's the power of resilience, because we know the power of emotions. We know the power of our feelings and the impact on others. And the tendency, persistence, continuity, and collaboration. We cannot work in individual ego or individual identity. Even we are identified because we have people around. Please remember, you all are my precious diamonds. Right? So I'm going to skip this one. Now I'll be telling you 10 ways which are being very well prescribed. These are the solutions of handling resilience or becoming or building a resilience. Now I'm moving towards the solution part. Make more connections. Okay? Make more connections. There's no harm in being selfish. There's no harm making connections because of reasons. LinkedIn is made for that. Okay? There's no harm. Be purposeful. Make connections for a reason and be reasonable in those relationships. That's perfectly okay. Discover yourself. What exactly are you good at? Understand that quality or a bundle of quality in you. That will boost the level of confidence. But make sure when you discover yourself, you should know that what can you contribute. Accept the changes. Don't retaliate to changes, but accept. Yes, there will be some change. Here, one factor I'm saying, there's a difference in expectation level. We have our own bundle of expectations. But remember, the family or the community or the office colleagues we live with or we work with, they also have a bundle of expectations. So let's collaborate those changes and expectations together and create a win-win situation. Okay? Keeping things in perspective, having a perception about things. I'm not asking you to be judgmental, but I'm asking you to create a perspective about things. That means know your feelings and understand the value of perspective here. Take decisive actions. Not just decision making, but make decisions which can be applied as action, which has final action to it. Moving towards your goal. No matter what comes in your between, you again remember that example. Office se ghar jana hai, and this place is undergoing construction. I have to reach my home. How will I reach? I'll take the other way. If I can go the right way, I can go the left way. The intention is to reach to my goal ethically. Simple story. Nurturing self-esteem. self-esteem, self-respect. When you know what hurts you, treat yourself with patience and politeness. If you know something makes you feel special, do that to yourself. Mohsin, I gifted a diamond ring to myself this new year. Okay? I don't
That's
wait.
wonderful.
This is the way of being, happy and building your personal resilience. So you do it for yourself. If you feel
Yeah, I keep
you
gifting
do.
myself a lot of things.
Yeah.
Maybe not of the level of a diamond ring, but small things.
Oh, no problem. But it's all about making yourself happy and creating the positive step of recognition for yourself. When I do that, I feel so much recognized that yes, I'm moving forward. I'm moving forward. I'm not too fond of wearing the rings, but I know I have something in my hand. God forbid if someday I'm stuck in certain situation, I'm wealthy enough to handle that particular situation. So what is my purpose? What my goal is? In all the situation, I must be worthy. I must be able to handle all the situations independently for me and my family. Family means your personal life and your office life as well. So maintain that hope and positivity, everyone. Everything has repercussions and positive aspects also. So take care of self. Resources, my internet expense will increase. I have to buy another phone. I have to borrow my brother's laptop, and I don't know all what. I have family obligations. People will walk into the room. How will I have a silence at the place? Do you know the place I'm sitting right now? There are 10 people sitting outside the room, all family members, and there's no sound at all. Accept the change and build a more comfort zone into that change. When you have that, learn more, upgrade your own skills each day. This will keep you very focused, and apply that over and over again as much as you can. Okay, if you're not too fond of reading the books, if you think that that becomes a little boring and occupied, listen to podcast, listen to web series, listen to audiobooks. Okay, take changes here, accept changes, and then make certain changes. From today onwards, you can ask one question to yourself: what if I accept? Is there anything harmful for me? No, so let me accept. At least this much you can say to yourself from today onwards. Okay, if this doesn't harm me, then let me move on. What's wrong in doing so? Let me do it. Right? If there's nothing wrong for others as well. Find the sense of purpose. Is it contributing to the framework you want to reach for? Each penguin step matters towards the final destination. So just overcome all the setbacks and move on. Here, remember, each one of you are diamonds. So let this heat and hit affect so that you become more polished, more shiny, more glow comes to you. Pay attention to your self identity. It's no harm to love yourself. Groom yourself. Once a month, spend time only with yourself. Steal that time for yourself. Go out, have your own food. Go and meet your friends. Have that respect for yourself that yes, you too deserve that. Fine. And you need to find any other identity. You need to find yourself apart from your workplace, apart from your family. That's what I'm saying you. Find yourself, your self identity. I'm not asking you to be associated like with your organization or with your name of your family. Something which defines you as you. When somebody says you're audacious, you're beautiful, you're humble, you're trustworthy, that's your identity. Find that, and that'll keep you moving. Okay? Cultivate relationships. Develop broader network as much as you can. There may be people who don't like you, but don't become like them. Listen again. There may be people who don't like you, but don't become like them. Always be equal and neutral to everyone. If they're bad to you, it's not your duty to replicate the same to them. Because
Ma'am, I can't agree more on this. Sorry to interrupt you, but I was just, this thing was just running through my mind that many a times our behaviors are not decided by our own selves or
Yes.
our personality. They are
Yes.
decided by how the other person is behaving with us.
yes, it's the both ways. It's the both ways. There are different levels here, different levels of relationships and different levels of handling the conflict. Right now, I'm talking in terms of handling the relationships. And what you are saying is towards handling the conflicts. So if I say that towards handling the conflict, then you can refer to the concept of transactional analysis. Okay, you can go back and refer it online or wherever you can find the source. You will get this concept, transactional analysis. Okay, so there, just a brief of it, there are 3 stages: child, parent, and adult. You see how this person is behaving, and accordingly you behave and move out of the room. Create a peace for your own mind, create a peace for the environment. Okay, but my focus here is creating and cultivating the relationships. Create and cultivate more of professional relationships. That creates a win-win solutions for more people. Okay. Reflection through learning. Whatever you have learned, whatever you know, let it reflect. That means let your performance speak for you. Here you have learned a lot, and here it's time to showcase whatever you have learned. And finally, you will see a skill shift in yourself in terms of the skills, talents, and interest altogether. Okay, so here is you all. Despite of all the barren lands, all the adversities, this is you. You are still meant to bloom. No matter what happens, you all have to move ahead in life in a positive way. So there's a new definition of resilience which is running, advancing despite of several adversities. That means keep on moving towards your vision, be proactive rather than looking into small and big chunk of challenges every day. Yes, you cannot avoid them, but let's fight them across. Just recalling you through the blue ball that no matter what, how much force you have, just take a moment, refocus, and bounce back. And this is the final suggestive technique for you all. Whatever situation you have, whatever adversity you have, please take a screenshot, print it, paste it in your walls, paste it on your walls. Let me explain. There'll be 4 different dimensions: performance, optimization, adaptive, innovative or innovations, mindful actions, and preventive controls. These 4 are the set of dimensions. Now, let's see the situation. Here, I'm telling you how to behave. Now, let's say when you have to perform and optimize your performance, you have to improvise, you have to explore, but you have been monitored. You have to comply to certain rules, regulation. Then what is the best idea? What is the best step of action? Be consistent. Keep on doing what best you could do. Okay? So more of routine works will come up here. Let's move here. When you have a lot of rules, regulations, and preventive controls and measures being applied, but still you have more of mindful actions given. Okay? That means more of instructions have been given. You are responded, you are noticed too much in your performances. Always good to move into the defense mode. Move into the protective results. This is like a review process. After 6 months, my salary will be reviewed on the basis of 6 months performance. So at the end of March, at the end of August, I have to just club into everything, make all the reports. So get into the defensive mode. If you have these two dimensions working, you have to just analyze your own situations in these 4 dimensions, okay? If you see that there are so many creative things happening, you are getting into a international organization where there are international level labs, there are so many MOOC courses being provided free of cost to you, and you've been asked to move all of a sudden on the Google suite and then make the presentations, and then high level of performance has been expected, and you are definitely given the freedom to work more creatively. And on the contrary, you have been noticed as well, because when you are given the liberty, there'll be a responsibility or a check also. Then what kind of action is expected out of you? Flexibility. Be more flexible towards accepting the innovations and then perform new actions. Have a broader perspective and then perform. Each one of these 4 dimensions and themselves in themselves are a set of adverse and positive situation, but it's up to us how we perform. And the last one, when we have to optimize the performance, that means we are asked to improve on our performances, and all of a sudden the organization give you a free platform for Atal, NPTEL, Swayam, and then a few courses being provided from all the platforms. Grab the opportunity, move into the progressive stage, move into the achievement phase, write more research papers, write more content, write more books, read more, enhance your skills. So this is the suggestive technique through which you can enhance your resilience and you can reduce your distress. Stress in some or the other way is good. Stress means a sense of movement in your body, but distress is discomfort. So this is my suggestive technique for all of you as a part of solution to deal with your own resilience. So this is about managing the resilience in all those 3 to 4 segments. Any questions on this before I give you an additional reading? Okay. I assure that if you start analyzing the situations in these 4 dimensions and then start, pairing these, that if I want to optimize my performances and my performances are being monitored, let me be consistent. What minimum is expected out of me, let me do that every day. If the universe means the organization has given me opportunity to be open-handed, when my performance can be optimized, I have more liberty to innovate. Let me be progressive. Let me do new things. If I have given innovative liberty, but still I've been minutely noticed and reported, let me be flexible. If they want me to open up from the regular to more innovative, be flexible. Don't restrict to your own learning points. And when you have extreme stringent things, when you are monitored too much, noticed too much, evaluated too much, it's always better to move into defensive zone. So these are the 4 techniques through which you can manage your resilience in the best possible way. This is the additional reading material You can copy the link. And this is the resilience, emotional resilience mentioned in context to Nelson Mandela. So you can go through that. I request everyone to just take a screenshot of this technique. And with this, I conclude my session by stating that each one of you is a diamond. It's just the capacity of hit and heat acceptance. No matter what, how much or how many adversities come in life, we must bounce back. That's the power of resilience, and let's manage our resilience in that particular manner. With this, thank you so much, Saurabh sir and Ajay sir, the entire team of the RFI, for giving me the opportunity. The session is open for the questions, and here I conclude. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Charul ma'am. And surely you have given the new meaning to resilience, that is advancing despite adversities. We know that our life is full of problems, and there may be this type of problem or that type of problem. Every time if one problem we solve or resolve, then another problem will be there. So it is our attitude towards it, how we reflect and how we react. So my takeaway for the day is live, that is LIVE, live, learn and grow. That is my takeaway from this whole session. And thank you so very much, ma'am, for giving such a nice session on the very needed topic for all of us, the teachers, the professors. And now, for formal vote of thanks, I request Professor Bhavna Sangamnerkar to come forward.
Hello, Ravi sir. Am I audible?
Yes, ma'am.
So, a pleasant evening to you all. I, Professor Bhavana Sangamnerkar, feel privileged to propose vote of thanks for this prestigious FDP session. First and foremost, I thank Lord Almighty, who has designed and refreshed our souls with a sweet stream of blessings. I express my gratitude to the Honorable Chairman RFI, Dr. Saurabh Jain, respected President Professor Ajay Jain, Vice President Dr. Ashok Gupta, Honorable Director, St. Paul Institute of Professional Studies, Most Reverend Father Simon Raj, respected Principal Dr. Sister Alice Thomas, to organize such a wonderful event on this virtual platform. Here, we are fortunate enough to have such a knowledgeable, eminent speaker among us today. I'm sure that the participants must have benefited by attending this session. Thank you, dear Charul ma'am. I'm very much thankful to all the sponsors of this FDP, International Research Guide Federation, Academic Research Guide Association, Shivaji Rao Kadam Institute of Technology and Management Indore, World Federation of Science and Technology, AAFT University of Media and Arts, Raipur, Edu Academics, College of Professional Studies, ATC, Indore, Shivaji Rao Kadam Institute of Pharmaceutical Education and Research. Without their generous support, it would not have been possible to organize such event. I must be thankful to the entire RFI team, technical support team, for their hard work and tireless support to conduct this event. Mr. Yogiraj sir, Dr. Ravi Vyas sir, and Dr. Sarita Rana ma'am from SPIPS fraternity. And my sincere thanks also goes to the participants for attending this FDP patiently. At the end, I once again thanks all who by any mean, any support, put their efforts to make this FDP session a successful one. Thank you all. Thanks a lot.
Many thank you and congratulations to all. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much, Arul ma'am, for a wonderful session. Thank you so much. More informative and effective. Thank you so much.